And here we are, Stuka Joe here with another unannounced live stream. And welcome everybody. And I could see your comments. For some reason, they wouldn't come out. I'm using a new live stream program, and your comments are welcome. Let's see who we have here. Today we have E4 Airman, something Ari. We have also New York Raider fan. We have Excelsior, Eric's Table Napoleonic Battles. We have Alan Salazar, J.R. Exner. We also have William Aarons from Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. Eric, Battle Ready, how you doing? Okay, so, and Eric from California. So I was waiting for Ardwolf to finish the show. This is kind of I like to kill a couple of birds with a stone. I'm testing, instead of live stream, I'm using StreamYard. I'm using another software. For some reason, I find that StreamYard, the quality is just, it's not good. This one's supposed to be better. This is directly streaming up. But, and I'm seeing your comments, but for some reason I click on them and they don't show up on the screen. So I'll have to work on that. But today we will, of course, be doing something relating to wargaming. And everybody's showing off the games that they bought at the different sales. So I'll probably talk and show you a couple of those. Of course, I bought some games at the GMT sale. And we also have Michael Mellon, Charles Latorra, Dale Brady. Well, welcome, everybody. So, of course, I bought the games at the, at the GMT sale. I bought actually, 3 games. I'll show you those. And I'm a magazine fan junkie. For some reason, I like magazine games. They make us better developers. But no kidding. I bought some magazine games that I'm going to show you. So that's going to be the excuse for testing this software. And this software is the one that I intend to use from now on instead of StreamYard. But I got to get fixed. The thing about that, that I can click on your messages for some reason. Let me see here. No. See, I can't. I click on one of them and they just won't come on for some reason. I have to work on that. Okay. So the thing is, let's take a look at the games that I bought. I'm going to start with the magazine games. And we have also David Sandberg. Welcome. Magazine games. Okay. Magazine games, I'm buying more magazine games from Strategy and Tactics Press. I think they've improved the quality of the games physically and also in terms of errata. And the maps are really nice. Joe Yost is a great map artist. So the first one I'm going to show you, and these two have something in common. And so let's go to the table. Here we have the table. And by the way, this is a new also. This is for 2024. Got a new surface here. And this is Baltic Offensive, World at War, issue 93, December, January 2024. Designed by Javier Romero. He's my favorite. I'm not going to say he's my favorite magazine game designer because that's not fair. It happens that most of his games come out of magazines. But he does a lot of games on different subjects. And I end up playing and buying a lot of his games for some reason. For some reason, I end up picking up his game. So this is a game that is about the Baltic Offensive. That is the Soviets attacking in the fall 1944. So it's a fresh change. Instead of the Germans always attacking, here you have the Soviets attacking. So let's take a quick look at this one. This one, I already punched out the rules. Took out the rules from the middle of the book. It's a full color rule book. The credits we have here, Javier Romero Munoz. Doug Johnson is the managing game developer. I had a chance to talk to him at the last Consim Expo. And he told me about the improvements they made on their team and the team in terms of play testing. And they have some blind testing also of their games before they come out. So you have here the proofers. So this is Jose Faura is the counter artist. And the counters are, they're NATO counters, but they look very nice. So here we see the rules. And this is your typical Strategy and Tactics offering. Okay. It's laggy for some reason. Let me see. Okay. Okay, here's the typical strategy and tactics layout. And let me see one thing here. Sec. No, it says, okay, I don't know. It says that it's okay for some reason. Okay. So you have some colored examples here, illustrations. So this is an improvement from prior. When I say decision games, press games, it was like 3-4 years ago. You wouldn't see so many examples in color. So this is your typical hex and counter game. And the units here are divisions on the German side, corps on the Soviet side. We got Mo from Mo's Gaming Table. You got some trays. Last year I bought, it was like tray year. I bought like 20 trays. This year I actually bought some games. So this is your rule book, and this is the map. And I tell you something, even the quality of the paper on the map, it's more substantial. This is a map by, of course, Joe Yost. I don't know how he can keep up. He makes a lot of maps, and they're all very nice. This one uses a portrait orientation. Let me get some stuff out of the way here. So this one is in portrait orientation, but these are large hexes, very large hexes. And we have up here, we see Estonia, Narva, the Gulf of Finland, and the Gulf of Riga there. It's a very, very clear map and beautiful. You know, you want to get that balance of beautiful and practical. You know, no ambiguities. You can see these fortress hexes very clearly. Everything is laid out. I like the way it is. I like when the games have a perspective and the print is in the same perspective. Sometimes I see games that you have to place them in portrait mode, but then the names of the places are running on a different side, which is kind of confusing. This looks very nice. Doesn't seem like a very long game. It has 10 turns. You have your terrain key, and you have your combat result table down here. And of course, nowadays you have 2 sets, so it's also ergonomical. So it looks very nice. Let's take a quick look at the counters here. You bought Storm over Jerusalem, Charles. I like that game very much. Very nice game also. Area Impulse. So here we have the counters. So these are normal, you know, standard fare NATO counters, but very clear. And that number on the left in the black circle is the number of steps. See, the Germans are divisions. You got the some air counters there, and you have some front markers. I don't know what the business of these are. And these must be guards, Soviet guards, out of supply markers. So very nice package indeed. If it's a standard medium complexity hex and counter game, that's fine with me. And you have the magazine. Of course, the benefit, I mean, sometimes we don't appreciate that our hobby fits in a magazine. You know, if you're into cars and stuff like that, you don't get a car in a magazine. Here you get the game, and in the magazine, you also get the historical article. And you can see there's a lot of maps here and a lot of illustrations. Operation Doppelkopf. So we have that here. It's a lot of maps. You got a Panzer IV there, I guess. No, that's a Tiger. That's a Tiger. More maps. Nicely done. And photographs. And these are photographs, you know, you used to see the same photographs. These are actually photographs that, this one I haven't seen before. So kudos to World at War for getting photographs that are not the same ones that we always see over and over again. Then there's an article about strike on Rabaul. So you have that article there. Of course, they have their advertising. And Hard Lock Division, the U.S. 36th Infantry Division in Italy. That's a game that doesn't get a lot of, theater doesn't get a lot of games, but it was a struggle. Nice maps again. So this is World at War. I'm going to go quick because we have some games to show. So that's Baltic Offensive. And that is the World at War issue that I picked up. And by the way, I picked up these. Nobody sent me these. I'm just showing them because these are the ones that I picked up. And we have here that E4. You got Stalingrad Advance on the Volga. Yes, they have Advance to the Volga. Very nice system by Mike Grinnell. And he's coming up with a Manila game in January or February, I think. They're going to come up. It's the American attack on the city of Manila. So that's another city fight in the same series. This is Strategy and Tactics. I think this is the latest issue, January, February. And it has the Great Turkish War. And you must ask which one, because the Turks, they fought a lot of wars. This is the Balkans, 1683 to 1699. A game also designed by Javier Romero. So this is another Javier Romero game. And this one I didn't do a very good job pulling the rules from the magazine. But again, it's about 16 pages long. And we have the units here have an illustration of a soldier. So you have the Turks here, the Holy Roman Empire. And you have a player aid pullout sheet. What I usually do is I make a photocopy in cardstock. I don't like to fool around with player aids in paper. They get beat up pretty easily. But you can see it's two-sided in color. That's it. In the past, we didn't get this from Decision Games here. So you get two of them, actually. So the intention is what counts. You know, it's a magazine game. It's a limited budget. I always like to see the approaches they take with magazine games because it is a limited budget and it is on the crunch on a timetable. So I used to be forgiving with magazine games. So here we have the counters, and these are by Nadir El Farra, which is another graphic artist that Decision uses, which has very nice artwork. These have the silhouettes of soldiers. Here you have the Ottoman Turks. And here, down here, we have the Austrians in yellow. Infantry, cavalry, you got some cannons there. We have some different, these look like event markers in gray. Then we have the Poles in white. We have the Russians in green. So you can see it's a pretty involved conflict. And the Holy Roman Empire in light blue. So I like the look of the counters. They don't have much information, but unit types, so I guess the characteristics of those types of units are outside of the counter sheet. Let me see if we get any other information here. Unit type symbol. And of course, the rule book is going to be full color again. Yeah, you have an operation cost summary attrition table here. Diplomacy rebellion table, siege table. Mo, you like his modern stuff. I know you're a modern type of guy. You like all the modern stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen any by, well, the modern stuff you mean after World War II, I suppose. I don't know if he's made after World War II. He may have because he's very prolific. Okay, so we have here the rules reach page 15 here, and then you have optional rules in page 16. And then let's take a look at the map. So the map is it's a heavier paper than usual, so it's going to last more. This one, okay, this one I'm laying it like in a portrait mode, and we're looking here at the Ottoman Empire. Let me see if I can realize. Okay, here's Crimea over here. The Ottoman Empire had most of the Balkans by that time. So you have Crimea here. And this is one of those maps I'm telling you. See, you would normally lay the map like this, but you have the names of the cities running in the other direction. I would have preferred running in one or the other, but of course I'm a solo gamer. But if you're playing with two players, you're going to have one player over there, one over here. So here we see the Ottoman Empire. We see parts of present-day Bulgaria here, Constantinople, Adrianople. We have here Macedonia. So the Ottomans were, here's the border with the Holy Roman Empire. I guess Prague is here. Doesn't go up to Vienna, apparently. And you have Poland. So you have parts of Poland there. So the map is basically clear hexes. There's mountains on the hex sides and rivers on the hex sides. We have some tracks here, or I guess these are for forces that have a lot of units. You place the units here. General data track. And on this other side here, we have diplomacy track, recruit boxes. Okay. So that's the map there. Pretty simple map, very elegant. Not a lot of terrain features. Let me see if I can see there. The terrain key is up here. We have out of play is in gray, all sea, city, fortress, mountains are on the hex sides, and rivers. So pretty straightforward. And you have parts of Russia here on this corner of the map. Oh, the Congo, yes, it's that World War Africa. Yes, you're right. That I have that one too. That's really interesting too. You're right. World War Africa. That's Javier Romero. Right? So I'm going to the Bellota Con, and I hope haven't seen him at any of the Bellota Cons. I wish he would go there. So we have these two out already. We not mix them, and then there's one game which I picked up, but not from Decision. This is a discontinued game, and by the way, Decision has a survey. If you like magazine games, they're making a survey. Go to their website, and they're giving people a chance to pick 10 past issues of games that you wish that they republish. They don't have all of the issues there. They have a lot of the really old SPI issues. They have, for example, the plot to assassinate Hitler. I told you, yeah, redo that one. And I also asked them to make a new edition of this one that I picked up. I couldn't resist myself because of the topic of this one, which there's not a lot of games. This one is the Graf Spee. It's called, it's the Voyage or something of the Graf Spee. What's the name here? The Cruise of the Graf Spee, or Graf Spee. So this is that pocket battleship that the Allies cornered at the River Plate there, at the near Montevideo. But it was a whole struggle to detect it and to corner it there. And eventually, the Captain Lugens, I believe, he decided to scuttle the ship in Montevideo, and he took his life. But that was before there was a cat and mouse chase. So I got this game from a fellow in Singapore, and I paid a premium for this one. But you know how it is when you want something and it's hard to get. This one is discontinued. So this one is new here. We have the counters. Let me see if I can get them from the plastic here. And I'm not a big naval guy, but this one, because of the story of this whole thing, you know, it ends up in Montevideo, you know, South America. You have the battle down there. It's an interesting story. Let's see if I can get the counters out without. Here we go. Okay. Let's take a look at the map first, because it's a point-to-point map. And this is the paper map. This is an older game. I think it's from 2011 or 12. So the paper is a bit thinner. So here you have, let me get this out of the way. So the map here, we see different ports in Africa. I like it because it's so weird. You never used to see this. So you have some ports that are controlled, for example, by Spain here, Portugal. Remember, this is 1914 when there was a lot of colonies in Africa at the time. The Germans had a big empire in Africa too. So, and here we have South Africa. And this is a game, I think, where you control the graph speed. It's a solitaire game, I think. I think it's a solitaire game. And then you have these points here. And of course, you reach the other side, which is South America. Here you see the Falklands. There's some patrol zones that you can see here. There you see Buenos Aires, which is across the River Plate from Uruguay, Montevideo. You have ports in Brazil. And it reaches the northern parts of Brazil. This is the map where the chase will take place. And you have here boxes for Allied ships retreated, Allied ships sunk, naval air, port defenses. Let me see up here, we have designed by Eric Harvey, Joe Yost, the map artist, 2019. I thought it was older. Okay, so you've got a repair table. You have an orders chart. Okay. So you have their effects bonus for winning the campaign game. Terrain effects chart. You have Allied patrol boxes. And we have here like a track for victory points. Yes, oh yeah, you're right. Battle of the River Plate. You're right, William. It's World War II. What am I talking about? I'm confusing it with the Battle of Colonel and Coronel, and there was the Battle of the Falklands was 1914 down here too. Yeah, my mix-up. Yeah, this is World War II. Yeah, this is World War II. Germany had lost its African empire. Thank you, William. You're right. I mixed the two wars up. So here we have keep track of certain things here. Oh, this is the track. You're keeping track of the condition of the graph Spee here. Leadership, primary guns, secondary guns, tertiary, torpedo mounts, engines, hull, ammunition, oil. And then there was the Deutschland, which was I don't know, smaller, I don't know if it was a destroyer or what it was, another ship there. And you keep track of its status there. So everything's on the map. And we have a victory point chart here. Task force variable initial placement table. Allied alert level. Scenario orders. And the turn record track. Let's take a look at the counters. We have the counters. The counters are, the ones, these were on a diet. These were thin counters because this is 2019. And they were like hit or miss. I've had games from Decision and Strategy and Tactics Press from 2018. Sometimes the counters were thick and sometimes they weren't. This is the one, this one, they're thin. But here we have different ships here. The British, of course, they have a huge fleet. You have their cruisers, destroyers, battleships. You have the Ark Royal, the Furious, so they have aircraft carriers. So they got a lot of ships chasing the Graf Spee here. And the German ship, I wonder what counter it uses here. No idea. So you have some port visited markers. Maximum fire. Oh, there they are in red. So just 2 against one. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 3. About like 28 ships against 2. So that the Deutschland is a battle cruiser. And you have the Graf Spee was a pocket battleship. It says BC there. So counters are nicely done by Eric Harvey also. He did the counter art. And of course we get the magazine. And this is issue 66, July 2019. So, and this one is, it's really hard to get. This one's hard to find. And I want to thank Aaron, who's the guy I purchased it from. It's really weird. It got here in 2 days from Singapore, this game. It was really amazing, the speed which I received it, and he packed it really well. And so we have a magazine. And here you have in Montevideo. Here's probably one after it was scuttled. Montevideo. You have the rules here. The rules are nicely done in color. And I went to BGG, and apparently the ratings are generally good for this one. That's why it's hard to find. We got Wayne Hansen. Wayne, great to have you too. Your Packers, are they winning? Since the Solitaire war game. Yeah, I think this is Solitaire, and this is right up your alley, Solitaire. And we're talking about the survey that Decision is having for people. Just go to their website and pick the 10 games that you want them to republish. They have a fantastic, I like a lot the Crete game that by Joseph Miranda. I did a video on it. It's really cool system also. So they have games actually from their 3 magazines, even from Modern Warfare magazine. So they don't have all, but they have a lot of them there that they can republish, and they want to do that survey. So kudos to them, because we live in a time when there's a cult for the new, and you forget the old stuff. And the old stuff, sometimes it's just a matter of improving the appearance and correcting some errata, and you have a tremendous game. Like Verdun on the Volga. That's another one I wanted to tell you guys about. Stalingrad, Verdun on the Volga. A more affordable version is coming up by Against the Odds magazine. I think it's a terrific area impulse game on the Battle of Stalingrad. So we have an article on Lwów, destruction of the Carpathy army. So this is the destruction of the Polish army in Lwów. This is 1939. So every time I play 1939, I'm a masochist. I take the Poles. So this is the magazine. Then we have Elsenborn Ridge. The 5th Corps holds the line. Nice maps there. Joseph Sepp Dietrich. We have here the Allied commanders, Walter Lauer. So, Skorzeny, Piper. So this is a battle in the middle of winter, December 1944. This is the Battle of the Bulge. So here you have some advertising. Anzac, War in the Pacific. So this is the issue of World at War number 66. And I missed completely this issue. I'm not subscribed to any of these magazines of the Decision Games magazines, because you have to be, if you're not subscribed, you got to be very alert to what they're coming up with, because once they're gone, they are gone. And it's really hard to get. So this is Graf Spee, and the game is Cruise of the Graf Spee by Eric Harvey. I'm pretty certain it's a solitaire game. I think it is. I hope it is, because otherwise it's not going to get a video on my channel, because if it has a lot of hidden information, it's not going to get a video. So the Graf Spee got down. It was scuttled by its Captain Lutyens, because it was surrounded in the Bay of Montevideo. So he scuttled it. But the interesting part is the chase, that it was running away from half of the Royal Navy. So before we get into the GMT sale, the games that I got in GMT. This is a game that was sent to me from Spain. If you've been following my channel, I've made videos on a game designed by a previous game on the Spanish Road, which is a game about the 30 Years' War and the Spanish road to Flanders. So the designer of that game is Daniel Hernandez Iniesta. And this is a game that was given to the attendees at at a convention in Cádiz in Spain. And this is a game about the siege of Cádiz by the English in 1625. And this is a game that is in Spanish, but I'm helping Daniel out. I'm translating the rules to English, and maybe it'll find a publisher. And I have an extra copy, which in another show I'll be giving it out after I finish the rules in English, because I'm not going to send you guys the game in Spanish. So here we see, this is a special edition for the Jornadas Pax Lúdica 2023. This is in a convention in Cádiz, which is growing, very successful this year. So you see that the back of we have the tables on the back of the front cover. And here we have the rules. And these are the ones that I've been translating. And they look very nice. And the artwork is by Niels Johansson, who's becoming one of my favorite artists, and you will see the map. I mean, we like to play good-looking games, and there's nothing wrong with it. And so here we see there's two maps in this game. There's like call it the strategic map, where you see the Bay of Cádiz, and then there's going to be a closer city map. So here you see the entry spots for the English fleet, I think, around here, and you have your defenses. You have some guns there. And I think this is like a general track that you have here. Here you have a little a part of the city of Cádiz here, San Fernando, Puerto Real, Puerto San María. So this is the Bay of Cádiz. This is the Bay of Cádiz. So once they get here, the English, there's a chance they may come into the city. And then we use the city map. And here we see the city map. And this is a city I haven't visited yet in Spain. I have to go to Cádiz. It's a very important city in the 1500s, 1600s, because the expeditions to the New World, many of them sailed from Cádiz. So here you have the city of Cádiz. You see there Santa Catalina Fort. And this is a solitaire game. The units are going to move according to those die rolls, like in the El Camino Español. And you are, of course, the Spanish defenders. You're defending from the English. So the English there's various fleets here. They have here, this is for Spanish leaders and Allied leaders. I think it's the Spanish and the Dutch, I think, we're attacking at the same time. Here we have the counters. And for fleets, okay, you have Essex. Let me see if Cecil, Nassau, Essex. Who's the other guy? Denbigh. I know nothing about this, but that's the great thing about our hobby. Is we learn as we go along. So you have more tables here. And we have some corrections. So there's errata also. So this is the defense of Cádiz. So this is a game that was given, and I show it here because, you know, I don't know, do you know of any American convention where they give a game, even a folio game, to anybody? I've never heard of one. You like quality physical components? Yes, when choosing it, me too. It's hard to play. You don't want to spend hours looking at an ugly game. So that's true. But it can be a pretty game, not necessarily going to be a good game. So Now let's take a look at the games that I got from GMT sale. So first one I'm going to show you, I'm not going to open this one, just going to mention, this is People Power. I have the coin series, I think most of them, if not all. And this one interested me because of the topic. This is the insurgency against Ferdinand Marcos, so the Marcos regime in the Philippines. And I know that John C. plays this game. He knows a lot about this. So this looks like a really nice way of learning about that history. It's I think it's a 4-player game. Or a 3-player game. Let's see. It's 1 to 3 players, this one. Now we're seeing more games that have 1 or 2 players. 2 players the British way. This one has up to 3 players. And game design, Kenneth T. So this is one that I picked up. And I know basically nothing about the Philippine history there. So that's something I would like to learn. The other game that I picked up is one that is very popular also. And I saw this one at Consim World Expo a couple of years ago. Last time I went, it was John Butterfield was developing it. It's a game originally by the late and great Chad Jensen, his idea, and John Butterfield completed the game. And it has very interesting concepts similar to the game by Decision Games, which is the Battle for Germany, where one player controls the Western Allies and the Eastern Germans, and the other player, the Soviets and the Western Germans. And you can see the counters have that, that you rotate the units to denote the strength. So this one's it's been well received. It has also cards. So it uses cards and it uses this system of strength reduction. Complexity is medium, so that's right up my alley in terms of complexity. And it says how many players? 2 players. So it's not solitaire. And I think there is considerable hidden information in the game. So that's that. And then the other game is one that it's a very rare game that I saw. And it's not even a GMT game that I saw. The GMT game, this is not a GMT game, but it was in the sale. And this is the Battle of North Kursk. So this is originally a Japanese game. Let me see if I can pick up, see what does that say there. Kuro Neko Design Workshop. So this is a game about the north part of Kursk, the north part of the salient. You think more solo mode on Downfall. Let's see. maybe the CDG solo system can do something. I don't know. So here we see the back of the map of the box. Of course, it's a Japanese design, so you got some print in Japanese. But this takes the northern part of the offensive, and it is I think it's an area map. You can see there, it's an area map. I like area games, area impulse games. And I like them also because they televise well. You know, everything fits comfortably and you know what's happening without sifting through stacks. So this one, I might do an unboxing later on this one, just to take a look at it. There's a lot of wargaming going on in Japan that just goes under the radar. So here you see the counters. I mean, it's nothing to write home about, but they're nice, they're elegant, functional. And it has 40 cards. So I wonder what the cards do in this game. I like cards in war games for many purposes, for different purposes. So this is Battle of North Kursk. And if you've been following my channel, there's another game that I've been doing videos on. And this one has a Kickstarter right now. This is The Other Side of the Hill. This is a game that's going to be published by NAC War Games. And right now, the the Kickstarter, the minimum was, I think, $32,000. They're about to reach 60,000. So they have over 800 people. They've reached various stretch goals. And I'm working on a set of sequence of play cards for this game because a turn here has about, I think, like 24 phases divided into there's an administrative phase with a bunch of segments, and then there's the operations phase. And it's the type of game like RAF where only John Butterfield knows from memory what phase and what segment comes next. Everybody else, you have to look into the rule book. So if you have the cards, it makes your life easier because it interrupts the game less, and you have the information right there at the palm of your hand, and the cards give you the information you need. You don't have to be sifting through player aid sheets. So this is a game where you command. The players are the German High Command. And the game has a bunch of scenarios. You can play a full campaign game, but it's going to be like 10 hours. This is a game that I've been closely following since 2019 when I saw it at the second Bellotacon. Carlos Marquez, the designer, was showing the game there to Volko Runke, and Volko encouraged Carlos to continue with the game because this is something different. These are the internal struggles of one of the sides during a conflict. If you remember Mark Herman's game, the one about Churchill, those are the struggles of an alliance, right? But these are the struggles of a side. So inside the German High Command, you have people that were fanatics of the regime, and you have those generals there. You have the old guard generals. You have the professionals, like Rommel, like Manstein, and then you have the dissidents. You had generals that were against the regime, and in the game you are trying to gather prestige points by placing your generals in army group and front positions. But that's not the only way you get prestige points. Depending on the particular role that you have, and players can have, there's 4 roles in the game. A player can be the OKW player, another one can be the OKW head, another one can be production head, the other one is the personnel, the head of personnel, and the other one is the head of operations. And those roles, each year they change. So you may be different roles each year. And I asked Carlos Marquez, I interviewed him, why did you have players changing roles every year? Because he wanted to simulate the chaos of the German High Command. It didn't have really a direction. Of course, one reason was Hitler, he would interfere with a lot of things. And actually in 1942, with the reorganization of the German High Command, that represents Hitler interfering even more with the German High Command. And the player who has the OKW role in 1942 keeps it until the end of the game. And the other players can change the other roles. And it's very interesting because there's also possibility of, for example, a player can have an agenda. And in 1942, if I'm playing, I'm one of the players, I get an agenda card, and suddenly I'm the dissident. So now I'm going to try to sabotage the war effort, but I have to be careful not to be too crass doing it, because if they call me out, then they give me the traitor marker, I lose like 10 prestige points. So you have to sabotage the German war effort, from time to time, because whoever has that traitor marker, if it passes it to you and you are the dissident at the end of the game, you lose like 10 prestige points, which is a serious blow. So the game has that particularity that there are prestige points that are kept tracked publicly during the game. So you know who is winning, but the prestige points that come from your secret agenda, which one can be the dissidents, the other one can be the sympathizer, a Nazi sympathizer, the other one can have a secret agenda of the professionals, and the other one, the old guard. They have different requirements. And those agenda points, you tally them at the end of the game. So you don't know who's winning actually until the end of the game. That's a really smart and interesting way of keeping players engaged until the end. You know, these multiplayer games, sometimes when somebody's ahead, and somebody's too far behind, they give up, or you start ganging up on one guy, but he might not be leading at all. So that's a game that is still in its Kickstarter. This is the other side of the hill. I did a video on the general aspects of the game and the extended example of play, and I'm grateful they sent me this copy because this is a pre-publication copy, but it is really a nicely produced game. So, oh, Kenneth P is here. So you backed this one too. Congratulations. And let me see here. And I have your game here. Picked up your game. So this one I'm gonna take a look at this game, and very interested in watching. I remember when I was younger this event happening, and so this is something I know it touches home, but it's very interesting history, and thanks for designing this coin game. I think the coin system is here to stay, and we're seeing a lot of design. So these are the games that I showed you today. I picked up a GMT sale. This one was sent to me by NAC War Games, and we have Daniel sent me the game from Cadiz, and I have the 3 magazine games, and we've been running here for some time, and I wanted to test this. This is the OBS with no StreamYard to see how the quality of the video came out. If the audio was synced, which is another problem I saw in my last stream. For some reason, it wasn't syncing well. I don't know what's happening to StreamYard. I think they're not keeping their product up to speed. So always room for improvement. Always looking to improve the products. I'm always searching to how these broadcasts can be improved. So this is all she wrote for today. I'll be, one more thing. Let me show you one more thing. Because I think this is the only chance I'll be able to show you this. I'm going to be attending the Bellota Con in Spain. Last year, I was able to record 15 hours of coverage. And it was live streaming is great. 15 hours, it's up there. This year it's going to be in a 5-star hotel, which I'm looking forward. Last year was a big auditorium, and it was pretty cold, actually. It's a 5-star hotel, and I'm going to see if I can reach 17 or 17 and a half hours. So I had to lighten up my gear. So this is the YOLO box. This is what I'll be using to transmit live. When I'm walking around the tables, I'm going to have an iPhone here. It's going to be the main camera. I'm going to have another camera here. This camera is a smart cam that follows a person's face. So if I place this camera on the table, for example, let me see if I can get another angle here so you guys can take a look at this. Another angle here. Okay, so let's say that I'm going to interview a designer. I place this gear on the table. The camera's going to be here, so I can follow the what he's talking about on the map, and the camera that is going to be here on this surface here is going to be on his face, and you're going to see his face in a little inset, in a little box in a corner. And while I'm interviewing him, you'll see the game and the designer talking at the same time. And of course, that is live, and I'll be able to see your comments here, because this is the screen where I'll be able to see your comments. I'll be able to tap on them and show them also. So this is something I'm looking forward. Last year was a cumbersome affair. The battery was a problem. This year, the battery is clamped to the whole thing. So I have the battery here. You need a battery. So because the battery runs out pretty quickly, but this battery lasts a long time. So that is I call it the Bellota Cam. So I got taking that to Spain, and it's really a lot of fun to do the live streams because there is no editing, and I'm looking forward to improve on that too. So I think we have Dead Wolf, and we have the infamous Bend Over. Nice to see you. So Thanks to all of you for tuning in to this unannounced video. I said I had to do a video because it's been a week. I haven't done any, but we're getting to the Christmas season here. I guess it's the same for you. You know, you have other things to tend to. There's not a lot of time for wargaming necessarily, but we want to keep wargaming going on, and we're going to pick up the speed now in January at the BellotaCon and then on. From then on. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this unannounced live stream. And as I always say, this is Stuka Joe signing off for now. Thanks for watching.